So I break tire beads. It's already broke on that side. This one's not. Two broke. Now to demount them. All right, no Harbor Freight tire mounting machine. I have one. This seemed to be quicker for me. I mounted tires at in the early 90s at Dyco, which eventually turned into Titan tire. And when I used to mount tires down there, it was large industrial crane, large tractor tires, John Deere, stuff like that. Big stuff. But I started off on the little stuff. I mounted these tires for 2 or 3 years before I moved to the big stuff. Just want to make sure your tire's in that double drop. This doesn't matter either side. Where's my... Well, I thought I was ready. I thought I had everything I needed. There you go. See, front side, same from either way. Just prevents scratches from being on the face of the wheel. And I'm going to need my handy dandy screwdriver. That I left laying outside here. The longer screwdriver. Used it so much that it's not even flat or round or any shape on the end. It's all dinged up. What we want to do is take your tire bar, preferably something a little longer so you have some leverage. Set that wheel in that double drop. Hook the edge of the wheel and just pull it up. Sometimes you can literally just push them out like that. And just come up underneath it, twist it around, pull it over. Push it in, turn it, pull it over. Sometimes you gotta get a little smaller bite. A little bit at a time. But for the most part, you just yank those wheels out. All right. This wheel is getting a brand new tire. So just gonna get a brand new valve stem. And probably the easiest way is just to cut it out. But you can also, if you got a tire valve stem puller, then you can just pull it out, throw that away, push that part out, throw it away. Brand new valve stems. Take cap off. But before that, it's not going to have a tube, but I just want to kind of take off some of the overage. Don't have to be perfect. Like I said, it's not getting a tube, so it doesn't have to be smooth all the way around. It just, you know, taking off some of the extra. And want to make sure the bead's clean. None of this stuff gets in between when you're mounting. Pushed in there, and then it won't let you seat the beads. These beads, these tire beads, you know, they're gonna set up pretty well anyway. This is what I'm using for tire mounting lubricant. The blue soap works. Any other color doesn't seem to work. I don't know why. I've had the yellow and green, and they just don't seem to work. Just soap and water. Pull it through, put it in. Easy as could be. No sitting there squeezing, cutting into this. It's not all cut into now from having pliers or cutters or whatever. The cap will go on nice and smoothly because the threads are not messed up from cutters being pulled on, yanked on. They're not meant for that. We'll go ahead and mount it upside down. Demounted it that way. It's not a law, but it's just kind of a practice that we got in. There's certain companies that we would mount tires for have to have the DOT number on the outside. So we'll do that side first. Also, when you're buying these tires, buying them to replace them, these are 4-ply tires. Sidewall's a lot thicker. The other ones that came off here were 2-ply. Usually, with these 4-ply tires, you can usually just push it on. It's on. It's mounted. The only other cheater tool I will be using is a pair of vice grips. They're handy. And this is just dish soap that's been sitting out. It's kind of dried up. I had water mixed in with it. It's just that kind of consistency. Helps mounting them. Helps them seat the bead. You can just use soap and water for the same thing. So push down on it. These vice grips locked in on it. They don't have to be super tight. You want to try and position the wheel so it's a a little bit up. And you're going to use that side as your first position to push down, and then I'm going to keep the wheel close. That's key, keeping the wheel close. You can almost push that bead on. This is what this screwdriver has been made into since I've had it. It works good for me. Now, put a knee on it. You don't want to rip the bead. If you feel like you're got too much, you know, go back and take a smaller bite. You know, you don't have to have it an inch, you know, just the width of the screwdriver, maybe double, go in, see, that seems to be too far, just scoot it over, there you go, take vice grips off, then it's mounted. Should have had the air and the tire gauge ready. Then airing these up, everybody's like, oh, they're going to be a pain, there's going to be so much trouble, I'm going to have to use a strap. The beads both popped on. That one just came all the way on. That soap, that thick soap helps. I like to put them at 20 psi. When I worked for Dyco, our quota was plus or minus 5. So if it was 15 psi, if it was received and it was 10 psi, they couldn't send it back because it was underinflated. So we just got into the practice of overinflating them 5 pounds. So that way if they drop 5 pounds in shipping, going from different climates in the back of a semi-trailer, wrapped on a pallet, expand, deflate, expand, deflate. They lose 5 pounds, they get there, they check them, they're 15 psi. Like I said about the cap, the threads are perfectly fine. Nothing damaged from a knife or a cutter or pliers or anything, and the cap goes on nice and smooth. Then at this stage you can just kind of take some of your dish soap and water, a lot of that grease from inside the wheel getting on the outside of the wheel when you take them off and on, smears, kind of hard to get off there, you know, but with a little soap and water you can just kind of rub it out. You got to keep using a clean spot to get it. See that? And then that one, no, won't worry too bad about the backside. But if you want to make it look nice, you just do a little sweeps. Always start from the bottom of the wheel, and then try and come out. And you get that grease on there from taking them on and off, and that just smears. There you go. There's your dinner, or supper, or breakfast, or however anybody wants to say it. I got one more to do, and this job is done. One more to demount, new stem, new tire, all done. like I said, I do have one of those small tire machines, but I don't have a bench that's heavy duty enough to where if I'm leaning on it, it's not going to fall over. And I don't have a garage. I'm working out of a shed, so most of the time I'm working outside, especially in the summer when it's hot. You do these tires when they're hot in the summer, they're not terrible with the machine or even by hand. They're not terrible. Um, I don't know why, but for some reason, locally where I am, I've had a lot of people over the last 3 or 4 years asking me, "Do you know anybody that does anything with these small tires?" Because tire shops don't mess with them anymore. Uh, Discount Tire used to do them for $20 a tire and wheel. They'd put a tube in, but that's it. Now they won't do nothing with them. So other than buying a brand new tire and wheel already fully mounted for $50, $60, you can spend half that price and just get the tire, demount it off your wheel, put it back on your wheel. Then you don't have an oddball color, something that doesn't match the rest of them. But anyway, if this helped you out, showed you any tricks, hit the like button, thumbs up, and we'll see you later. There's a wheel. Bed tire. 2-ply. wheel moved on me. Put that sunk down. It just slid on its own. Done.